First, we have a review about yesterday's topics. The purpose of our gathering is about talking about longevity and how increasing human lifespan is possible through Tantra, Shamanism, and understanding the mechanism of manifestation, the laws of manifestation. When I was 16 years old, this idea came to my mind that we as human beings, we must be limitless. We are created by a great design, by a great wisdom, love, and creator that doesn't want a limited life for its own creatures. Like a mother that loves her own children unconditionally and wants best for them, the universe wants the greatest form of life for us. This idea came to me that's why we must be limitless, able to overcome aging, disease, poorness, loneliness, suffering, any form of limitation that we experience in the level of life. And then since 2012, I start to study about longevity. I make a laboratory and I work to increase the lifespan of fruitful lives from 2012 to 2015. And then I start to work to healing the body through the method that I developed. And eventually, now in 2023, I understood that following non-dualism, Tantra, and Shamanism are the best way to reverse the aging and live diseaseless, free from disease and aging. And now I want to define how this is possible, how this works. Let's first we look at our aspects of beingness. We have 5 bodies or aspects that I call it the physical body, the mental body, the emotional body, the energetic body, and the spiritual or universal body. These 5 bodies or aspects, they have their own consciousness and they communicate with each other. They interact and influence each other. Our body, or let's say our DNA, is our biological consciousness, and this biological consciousness tunes its own function by listening to other level of our bodies or by listening to other state of our consciousness or aspects. The DNA, our biological consciousness, listens to our mental consciousness to see how much peace, mission for life, calmness, awareness we have in our mental body. Also, then the DNA look at our emotional body to see how much love, joy, happiness, peace we have in our emotional body. Then again, DNA look at our energetic body and see how much we have energy, flow of life in ourselves. And also the DNA look at the awareness that we carry in our soul, how much this awareness is awakened can affect the DNA. So the DNA, our DNA has the potential to replace our cells without limitation. Around every 7 years, the DNA replaces all the cells of our bodies. And this, as long as this cell replacement is happening, And as long as this replacement is according to our blueprint, we not supposed to reach to the aging. As long as this replacement is according to our youthful state of physical beingness, we not supposed to reach to the aging, or we not supposed to be influenced by disease. But the DNA, when it look at the mental body and see that this mental body is distracted by judging everything, by stress, when the DNA sees that we have depression, disappointment in our emotional body, when the DNA see that we don't have a right flow of life force energy in ourselves, in our energetic body, and when we are not awakened, when our connection with our soul is not developed enough, the DNA lose its own motivation to keep the body youthful. In another word, the greatest motivation for DNA to keep the body youthful is enthusiasm for life, energy and passion for life. But we human beings, because of we are living in the stress, because we have sexual taboos and we block the flow of sexual energy in our body, because we don't know how to live in love, how to live non-judgmental, and how to be connected with our soul, we could not motivate our DNA to continue its own function. In another word, when the DNA look at our mental body, emotional body, energetic body, and sees that over there, when it notices that over there we don't have enough motivation for life, enthusiasm for life, or energy for life, then the DNA interprets that this means this is a time for dying. And that's why the DNA start to make the body old, weak. It can even allow the disease function in our body, because the DNA also, in the same way that the DNA programmed to give us life in the right time, the DNA programmed to take the life or slow down or weaken the life in the right time. So there is no any fixed program for DNA to know when is the time to aging body. What determines the program of DNA to produce aging is the lack of enthusiasm, peace, flow of energy, and awareness in our other four aspects of awareness or consciousness. We say that the DNA is our biological consciousness, and consciousness can communicate with consciousness, other state of consciousness. So when I was doing healing, especially I work to healing the people who suffer from cancer, the only things that I was doing was to let my consciousness, my electromagnetic field, communicate with their DNA and lead their DNA to replace itself. I felt somehow I transform my own motivation for life, my enthusiasm of life to the body of my clients, and I boost the DNA to rejuvenate itself, to heal the cancer, and to give again life to the body. I was doing the same when I was trying to increase the lifespan of fruit flies in my experimental group. Fruit fly, in average, they live for 35 days, but in my experiment, they live till 62 days, and what the only things that I was doing, I kept the control group and experimental group in the same conditions, same place. And the only things that I was doing was going and spend a 10-minute time every day with the neutralized that they were in the experimental group, with the, in the container of the experimental group. And I focus, and I visualize that I'm communicating with their DNA, and I lead their DNA to live longer. This is also the same that in the, I don't remember, I never get sick. Maybe I get cold and cough sometimes, but I never get sick. And I saw the rejuvenation in my own body, in my skin. And now this is a time that I want to contribute this approach to others. I love life, and I want we become the master of life, because we are here to reach to this state of beingness. I believe that the God and the Goddess, they exist within us, and we are here to awaken their potential in order to have a godly, a godlessly lifestyle. So in my practice, I lead you how to raise the enthusiasm of life in your 4 aspects, which eventually will influence your first aspects, your DNA. To raise the motivation, the enthusiasm of life in these 4 aspects, I lead you to follow Tantra, Shamanism, and Non-dualism. And now I want to explain you why. To raise the enthusiasm of life in our mental body, we need to overcome consuming from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, to reach to the non-judgmentality and see the oneness of life, to see everything as it is, not as the mind is programmed to see. As long as we have such this mind, we produce stress, we produce anger, we produce frustration, we have the desire to fight, to defense, to run, to reject. With such this mind, we cannot bring harmony, dance, love to our life. We bring resistance. So we learn how to look at the life as it is. We don't admire goodness. We don't reject and judge badness or wrongness. We just believe to the flow and correctness of life, the wisdom of life. This is one of the practice, and when you learn this, you will reach to the absolute peace, oneness, and flow with life. The second approach, the second work that I do is working with your emotional body and let go of all the suffering and emotional blockages and invite love. We say that our mental body is located in the upper chakras. Our emotional body, emotional consciousness, located in the chest, in the heart chakra. And the energetic body, the third one, is located in the lower chakras. And our spiritual body, spiritual consciousness, is the entire universe, or is around us. So when we work with the emotional body, we bring love, peace, joy, happiness, childlikeness to our body. And then when we go to work with our energetic body, we overcome sexual taboos, because I believe as long as we have sexual taboos, we don't feel the flow of sexual energy in our body. In the practicing Tantra, we learn how to master our sexual energy, how to get free from the need of orgasm or ejaculating, get rid of sexual energy by dropping the sexual taboos. When the sexual taboos are fallen, we will be needless of experiencing orgasm. We start to enjoy the sexual energy into our own body. And then also through the Shamanism and non-dualism, we learn to expand our awareness about our soul, to awaken our soul as much as possible. So I work with 4 bodies, 4 aspects of you. In my program, I work with 4 aspects of you, and then those 4 aspects will work with your DNA, with your biological consciousness, and this will lead you to live ageless, to rejuvenate your body, to reverse the aging. This is my doctrine, my teaching, and I would like to, through you, bring to experience this doctrine. I would like to invite you to do a test on the length of your telomeres to analyze your biological age, and we will go to repeat this experience after 3 and 5 years to see that how your DNA start to increase the length of the telomeres, which is a part to duplicate the cells according to its own blueprint. So then we will see how, by learning this method, by working with your other 4 aspects, you can activate your DNA. This is the totality and of this practice, of this work that we are doing. So if you have any question, I would like to hear. Then also we go to talk more with more detail about how the work takes place. Thank you.